Hey everyone, welcome to Recess with Moms. I'm Sonia, a teacher and mom, just trying to juggle it all without spilling my coffee.
And I'm Sydney, also a teacher, also a mom, and also constantly losing my tea somewhere. We're so excited to have you here with us on our very first episode.
In this podcast, we dive into everything from parenthood and teacher life to balancing all the chaos in between. We'll share the highs, the lows, and plenty of laughs along the way. Whether you're a teacher, a parent, or just in need of a good laugh, this is the place for you.
Today's episode is about finding your work tribe, so grab some snacks, a drink of your choice, and let's get into it. So this is our busiest time of year in our profession and at home. Here lately, I've been really struggling with feeling like I am not enough. I'm not giving enough to myself or to my job or being a mom.
Okay.
It's because I want to do like all of the fun holiday things at home and at school, but I'm getting burnt out on doing both.
Mm-hmm.
Like I either do it teacher-wise or I do it mom-wise. And if I do it both at the same time, I'm feeling so overwhelmed, and then I feel like a failure in either one.
In either one, yeah. It's like you have to pick and choose which one you're going to thrive at. Either mom life, teacher life, wife life, or yourself. The other night, I was putting Camila to sleep, and before I was putting her to sleep, I had already made like this giant to-do list, like a personal to-do list, a school to-do list, a list for myself. And anyway, I felt so bad because I ended up rushing my oldest to sleep, and literally I'm like laying there beside her and I'm just waiting, like fall asleep, fall asleep, fall asleep, because I could not stop thinking about all the things I had to do. And then of course I left her, she finally fell asleep, and I'm staring at her, I'm like, I feel horrible. Like I'm literally rushing this moment because I'm constantly thinking of all the things I have to do. So that sucks. Like always just feeling like it's just not enough. It's not enough time. It's not enough time. So.
And in a way it isn't, because they're so young and we have this short amount of time with them. It really does stink when we feel that way, but also we have so much on our plates.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're teachers, and that in itself is a whole being of like, we have to make a to-do list or we don't accomplish anything.
Yeah. Well then,
it just stinks. No, I'm just saying it just stinks. And then I was saying, when I put my youngest to bed, she wants me to hold her and rock her for a little bit, but in my mind, I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I have to remind myself to be present. And then I feel guilty for reminding myself to be present. And then it makes me feel like I'm still not enough. Like, this isn't enough for them.
Yeah, it's hard to be in the moment for sure. Like, even today at school, I'm like running through all the things I have to do at school, and then I'm literally in between activities. Don't fire me, principal. But literally in between activities, I'm making a personal to-do list. So either like I'm in the classroom and I'm thinking about what I need to do after school, and then I'm at home and then I'm thinking of what I have to do in the classroom. So it's like I'm never really, like my mind's never in my present location. Mm-hmm. So it's hard. It's really hard to just stop and focus on that moment.
It is, but also let me give you a clap on time management, because that's a great time management right there. Because we don't have time.
Don't enable me.
We don't have time. We don't. When we get home, I think the hardest part is like we don't feel enough because we're giving it our all to other kids during the day. And then, you know, there's like 17, 19, sometimes 24 of them that we're giving them all everything and all that we have.
Okay, tell me why. Literally, as I'm during conference time, again, don't fire me, I walk into the library and our librarian is walking on a little walk pad. Now, she was off officially. It was later, so she was off duty. Don't fire her. She was off duty, and I'm just like, are you serious? Like, you really have a walking pad? She's like, oh, yeah, my boyfriend gave it to me. Like, I've literally thought about, I'm not kidding you, I have thought about buying a standing desk with a put a walking pad, but I'm scared, like, what if my principal walks in? They're like, what are you doing? Like, you're teaching and walking, but I can't do it all. Like, by the time I get home, it's dinner, bathe the girls, like, and then it's 9 o'clock, and I don't want to exercise. I'm tired. Like, I want to watch TV. I want to hang out with my husband, and I want to pass out.
Yeah.
So it's just like, where do we fit it all? We can't. We can't. I think that's the point. We just can't.
And I think what's happening is that in turn we're taking it as if like we're not enough.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because you know that those thoughts are coming from the devil. They're not. It's not God saying you're not enough. That's not it. It's literally he knows your weakest moment, so he's going to attack you, sorry, not attack you, but attack you and make you feel so low.
Yeah.
And I know today, you know, during like our passing by times, I was talking to you about like, I don't know why I feel irritated.
Yeah.
I'm just irritated. And the reason why I feel irritated is because I'm feeling like I'm not enough.
Yeah.
And I know it's not, like, I'm not irritated at the kids. That's not it. I'm not irritated at my home life or anything like that. It's just, like, I feel like right now with all of this stuff that we're drowning. Mm-hmm. We got to do all the cute turkey things. We've got to do all the cute, like, Christmas things. And we've got to do all this. And then families coming into town and all these things. Like, when are we...
And then you forget to plan the activities for your family.
Yes.
And that's what I was literally doing today. I was... In between activities, I'm planning our Thanksgiving with our family, and I'm thinking, what fan activities am I going to do with my children? Yep. And then I get all like annoyed and irritated, like with myself. Cause I'm like, why am I doing so much for these other children that I do love, and then my kids, my personal children, just get like my fumes basically, and it's just sad. But I agree, it is the devil attacking because I feel like when I'm with my daughters, like they think the world of me. Like I'm their superstar, and they're just like, mama, mama. They don't see what I'm going through, but we still make ourselves feel it's not enough. It's not enough, but it is. Like it really is enough. It's just like, I think that's what makes us good moms, is that we care that much and we guilt trip ourselves. But I would take it back to that. It is the devil attacking because, like. I went to this baby shower this past weekend, and I saw one of our old coworkers, and she told me the sweetest thing. I'm gonna cry. Aww. And she's just like, she was watching like my girls, and she's like, Sonia, I can tell you're such a good mom. And when she said that, I knew she was right. Like, you should have seen my head. I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't do a lot of things perfect or well, but mom, like, I kick butt. Like I do kick butt at that, and I think God is proud of me for how I do it. So why don't I listen to that every single day? But I know I'm doing a good job, like, or my, like, the best that I can. And I tell you all the time, it's so easy for me to tell you, but then you don't listen. I know. Because then you're beating yourself up, and then we take turns crying.
I know, but you really are a great mom. You are. And I think the whole reason why we don't listen to is because we're our toughest critics. Like, yeah, we just are. And again, it makes us great moms. Like, yeah. You know, I see your girls, and when they see you, and it just, like, melts my heart. Because you know they don't see what you're battling. No, they don't. They don't see that internal struggle. They just see, like, mom's here. Yes, you might be at your lowest low, but I don't think you realize, like, your bare minimum is not everybody else's bare minimum. You should have a big head, girl, because you great.
It's big on its own is the problem.
I'm like, you know, and you still have that love and that nurturing, and they feel that, and they know that. So you really are enough. Like,
and I think something that helps too, like with motherhood and then teacher life or just parenthood in general, is just having like that group of people that just constantly support you. Like I feel like I need that reminder, like not just from my husband, from like you and like friendships and teacher, mom, or like people that we work with, because we understand each other of how like crazy our day is, how we barely get to eat, barely a restroom break. And I cannot imagine like being a teacher and not having like my teacher tribe. Yeah. Like, because I've been there before when I didn't have a teacher tribe, and like that year was the absolute hardest, but the work was less. Does that make sense? Like I just didn't have the love. I didn't have the support. But so to any teachers or anybody really listening out there, it's like you have got to surround yourself with people that will build you up and not tear you down.
I don't think that's talked about enough, is the teacher tribe.
Yeah.
Especially like moms that are in the teacher tribe. I will forever be so grateful for our old team that we had, and I'm grateful that I get to have you this year with me, but that tribe just really put us through a lot. Like, we went through a lot as a whole thing. Don't fire me. And, you know, like, that was
we're not getting fired.
We're not there anymore. You're right.
We can't get fired. Teachers don't get fired.
Anyways, for real, though. That's a whole nother issue.
I know. That's another podcast.
You gotta write that down. But yeah, like, you know, I just, you know, there was so many things that were going on, and life was hitting us all over the place. I think personally, last year was the hardest year for a lot of us. And we had each other to lift us up. Yeah. And, you know, I remember, shout out to our lead, because I love her so much. And like you said, she brings joy.
Yeah, every time I see her.
Or old lead, I guess. She was so positive. And she was so good at reminding us that we are enough. And then I think that just trickled down.
And we kept it almost. Like, I can't imagine had I not had her as a team lead. There's just so many things when, like, even throughout the day, something happens. And I literally think about that team. I think about y'all. I think about, like, what would she say? What would she say? Like, even, like, from the sweetness of one of our teammates that you can probably think of. And then from, like, the, like, humor and sense of humor of another one that's a little too energetic. Yeah. But, like, we needed that when we're like, oh, my God, I can barely eat any chocolate. Like, I don't know. It's just, I'm thankful for them for sure. Of course, they're going to come up in our first episode because.
But you know what? They would love to be on it, so we should trickle them in if they feel like it. But I think that was a great foundation for us, is having such a good, like, person that started our tribe. I feel like,
I love that, yeah, and like I feel like we all did things so out of our comfort zone.
So did.
Every single one did stuff, but I don't think we would have done it without each other. There's no way I would have done what I did last year, like, with my previous team. Even though they were great, but they weren't the same, like, support and, like, I don't know. It was just different.
It's different.
Yeah, it's just different. Like, each team brings something, but that team was, it brought, like, fury almost. Like, yeah.
Look, I've been feisty, and y'all just egged on my feistiness.
We did. It was not, honestly, sometimes we were not good for each other. What did she say? Hold me back. Yeah.
I think, but that's what I think. But we just loved each other that much that we were willing to, fight for each other.
I love that. I feel like our conversation is kind of being pushed towards our teacher tribe, our friends, our support, and how it's really hard to get through any year.
It really
without
is.
Each other.
But again, that's because they constantly validated us.
Yeah.
They constantly said, you're doing your best. You're doing great. You are enough. Like,
and at the same time, held us accountable.
Yes, you did.
Because there are some times where, like, I need to tone it down. And I was told so kindly. And I respected each one of y'all that I took it serious. It's like, okay, I need to chill. Like, But
I also loved how we knew each other so well that we could tell when something was wrong. Or we could tell when something was out of our own character. Like, that meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
Because, I could get feisty.
No.
I just get very passionate about things. And, like, sometimes I need someone to be like, girl, you need to simmer it down. Like, you're just a lot. Yeah. I know I'm a lot. But...
But we tame each other.
We tame, yeah. I think it's the Latinas in us.
Probably. That or our husbands make us this way.
You never know. They're saints.
Yes.
I just gotta say it. Mine's a saint right now. Cause
yours is. Mine's not. Still waiting for a sweet message. That one.
Okay. He's sweet overall, though. He gives you stuff during the school day.
He'll never win. It's okay. Thank you for trying.
I love it.
He can never win.
I do like that God validates us, that we are enough. Like, through little things. G did validate us.
Yeah.
She was like the light that would come in and be like,
you are doing enough.
Yeah. You are doing great. Or sometimes Kara would say, why are you being extra? You're fine. Like, I feel like here and there little people would come in and say, you are.
It's almost like when we were all drained, we just had just enough to give to the other one, and that was just enough for you in that moment. Yes. And then, several times, I think we were all exhausted, but one of us one day just had just enough for the rest of the team, and we would have lunch together and literally carry on, like, survive the rest of the day based on that one little comment. Like, yeah.
But it's that one little tiny bit, that one seed that God plants, and boom.
And I think that's what it is. I think, like, we all love God. We love Jesus. And I think it's just easy for us to get consumed with, like, the daily stressors. But it's like God just said, here, just put this in there. Like, you say this. And then it was just enough to get us through a really crappy year.
Well, when our team lunches became, like, every other day to, like, every day.
Yeah, every day. I'm going to be in my hole, okay? I'm not eating lunch with y'all.
And the next minute we're running out. Okay, what did y'all talk about?
I got stuff to do, okay? I got to work through my lunch. I'm going to be proactive. Nah, I just felt more behind and behind.
I know. But I also felt like we needed that at that time. It was so hard.
I know.
But it was great. Maybe that's why I feel like I'm not enough, because I'm going to say it right now. Don't fire me. But I love...
Or do and make me a stay-at-home mom.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Whatever at this point. But what I think it is that I love our admins so much and I respect them so much that I'm willing to go above and beyond again. Yeah. Like, I already do above and beyond for my kids, but I always want to, like, make it... I just want to make it extra step higher, and I just don't know why. And
it's not so much. It doesn't cost you so much energy because you're literally doing it out of joy. I will say, like, that's another thing. Like, there's like the part of, I guess, like the pillars of being a teacher, or like like one of them is like having your teacher tribe, and then part of it is just having like admin that you absolutely respect because you want to make them proud. Like, and I've been in different schools, and literally same thing. Like, there was one campus where I just didn't have any respect for the admin, like, at all, and it was dreadful to go to work. So dreadful. But my class was amazing. My parents were amazing. I was with them most of the day, but then just, like, going into the hallway, you just felt, like...
Been there, yeah.
The lack of love, almost. Like, the people that were there weren't really there for the kids, and it just made it hard. But now, you're right, I feel like I do more. Like, this year, I do so much more. I'm working at night, but I don't mind it as much because I know, like, my admin appreciates it, my students appreciate it. Yeah, I think that's another thing. It's like, if you're not happy at your school, you have got to move. You've got to move.
Don't stay.
There's no loyalty owed to anybody.
I made that mistake before. No way. I'm not doing it again. And look at me. I didn't do it again. I'm proud of myself.
I know. I can't tell you how many times
I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah, I've moved schools for different reasons, like commutes and stuff. But I always kind of just knew it's like, if I'm not happy with my admin, I don't need to stay there. Like, I'm a teacher. That's the pro about being a teacher.
We're needed somewhere.
There's always openings, and you can literally go anywhere. Yep. So,
and there's
mid-year,
always the feeling of not being able to catch up.
And always.
Always.
You're always feeling needed. Because you can't finish anything. That is funny.
It is true. All right, that's the end of episode number 1. Sonia, tell me 3 things that you are grateful for this week.
This week. My husband. Not being passive aggressive, but look at him getting a shout out. Even though I never got an appreciation text or anything sweet. My husband, yes, he's an angel. Okay. Number 2. Okay, I take that back. God. He's not number 1. God, for sure, for guiding me to this, to you, and just life in general. He's huge blessings. Number 2, my husband. Still gets a shout out. And then number 3, my children. Yeah,
those are good ones.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Recess with Moms. We appreciate you guys for taking the time to listen to us.
Whether you're a teacher, a parent, or someone looking for laughs and real life stories, we are so grateful to have you here with us.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, like, and share our podcast with anyone who might appreciate real parenthood and teaching life stories.
Please feel free to connect with us on social media. We'd love to hear your stories or any topics you'd like us to cover in the future. Our social media info will be linked.
Until next time, happy holidays, and remember, you're doing an amazing job no matter what hat you're wearing. Until next recess,
remember that you are the light of the world. Y'all better press that button because there's a giveaway if we reach 100 followers.
We pull out here. We're trying to make it. We're trying to get out the classroom.
Look, if 100 of you follow us and make us stay-at-home moms, we'll give you something.
Something.
Anything.
Okay. Please, Mom. We're not desperate.